Hey everyone, thanks again for joining me on Sealed for Good. Today I'm talking about water stops and how they're used in waterproofing applications. And this is not a Gripset piece, this is actually an industry piece, because it doesn't matter what products you use out in the marketplace, what brand, water stops are part of the waterproofing application. And the question comes up, we have many builders and even architects asking us, well, who should install the water stop? Because as part of a waterproofing supply piece and a manufacturer, we don't manufacture water stops, but we always recommend them. And where are they used and how should they be used? Now, there's some really good information out there in the marketplace from specialists that will give you guidance on how to use a water stop, but you should not just come and waterproof your area. Let's talk about bathrooms. Just go and waterproof your bathroom and walk away and think, oh, the water stop's someone else's issue, because you haven't done the waterproofing application correctly if it hasn't been integrated. Particularly with shower alcoves. Now, the whole, back in the day, everyone wanted a shower tray, then we went to shower hobs to create like a tray, but everyone likes this nice sexy step down with shower screens, etc. into the shower, or a seamless integration between the external floor and inside the shower alcove. Now, different states have different regulations with falls and how we treat that. My belief is we should always waterproof the whole floor of a wet area, particularly bathrooms where there's a shower alcove, whether that's ground floor upstairs. But how you integrate the water stop, it needs to be integrated before the membrane. So you seal the membrane to the water stop and ensure that if you've created a water stop across the shower alcove, that if you were going to flood test, that water is contained inside that alcove and the water stop does exactly that. Now, where the issue comes up at times is where a waterproofer might do it and then the tiler comes in later and says this is actually lining up where I wanted it or where I've got my tile or where the screed bed's going to go. That's why it's really good when a tiler is doing the waterproofing and doing that shower alcove, or the tiler and the waterproofer have communicated carefully together first to ensure that where that water stop is lined up and positioned is where it needs to go for the tiling application, so there's no compromising on that water stop. Now, the other part of where water stops need to be looked at, and this is where we see it so often ignored, is at doorways. We talk about the shower alcove, but we often forget about installing a waterproof water stop at the doorway of a bathroom area, particularly when they're going to have screeds installed. Sometimes we just see a plastic angle or a metal angle, just silicone over the membrane before the tiles go in. And if there was ever, for any reason, a flooded floor, and we so often see architraves and carpets outside of bathrooms starting to get wet because you've got no water stop that's sealed as part of the membrane system. It's an afterthought. It needs to be integrated as part of the application. Now, like I said, this is not something that it's a Gripset product we're trying to sell. This is an industry process. Standard states it. You can refer back to AS 3740, but need to check all this information out and be the knowledgeable one to ensure that you're integrating this with your waterproofing application. Tell your builder that you're installing it, so when you're quoting it, it's part of your price. And so when someone might be comparing your prices to someone else, you state it. State water stops are part of the application and they're part of the waterproofing process. And when we talk about even external balconies and the various seals and water stops that can be used there, particularly at edges of balconies where you've got overflows, etc. These are sorts of things where we can all integrate into the application. I'm going to have a separate Seal for Good session on balconies and water stops and how we seal around those edges and terminate. But it's something that just needs to be an automatic piece when we're talking about waterproofing applications where there's tile beds. Water stops need to be part of the conversation and part of your application. If you'd like to discuss this any further with our team, please do that. If you need to get hold of anyone who's an independent out in the marketplace, there's many good building consultants out there that would know about this. Check them out, or check with one of our Gripset team out on the road. They can help you there. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time on Sealed for Good. Let's be part of that change.